Okay, so I guess I'm going to start on the rear here just because it's a little bit easier and I want to get something completely done. Um, so the shock, there's not really much to it. I got to go into the trunk there and pull the carpet away from the sides. Now this side is worse because we've got the fuel fill in the way of the shock nut, so that's going to be kind of shitty, but I'm glad that I'm filming this side because it'll show how bad it is, and then if you're doing this, then when you do the other side, it'll be way easier. And then this bolt down here, you take it off and have to kind of pry that thing out that way. And what I did was I kind of jacked this up and down and kind of kept messing with it until that finally popped out. And then once you get that done, you should be able to just let this thing down enough to where this comes out. But there has been talk of the axle, if you overextend it, that it can damage it. And so just to be safe and save time not having to take the axle off, I'm just going to go ahead and put a spring compressor on here, and that'll squeeze this thing in more so that it's a little bit smaller from top to bottom, so I don't have to basically lower this control arm down so much to get it out. So I guess I'll start by pulling that carpet back up there and getting that nut out and get this shock off of here. Alright, probably have to get this one. Okay. Alright, let me get all these on here and get this piece of carpet pulled back and return after that's out of the way. Alright, I don't know if you can see it. I mean, I've got the camera in a good position where you should be able to see. I just don't know if the lighting is going to be any good, but use your imagination. And this thing's kind of weird. I think it's got like a split in it. So you just kind of have to turn it until you find the split and then pull it back. And I'll show you that here in a minute. Well, so apparently these just get splits in them over time. There was only one on the other side, so I thought it was there on purpose to make it easier to remove, but it's not. So you just have to muscle these off of there. It was very frustrating, so I really don't know what to tell you on that, but that's what that looks like. So yeah, I guess we can kind of see that. And the problem is I can't see it, so maybe I'll use the camera to help me out here. So let me go get a 14mm and a pair of vice grips. Alright, my mistake. 14mm is the new shock nut. This one is 16mm. Well, that side was at least. Am I able to get on the nut or not? Let me move this out of the way. Is that it? Oh, come on. I literally just can't see what I'm doing. Ooh, that went on. Alright. I'm guessing these vice grips are not on there very good, probably. Go closer to the jaws. Alright. Alright, I think I felt it turn a little bit. I don't think there's any reason for you to watch me get this nut all the way off of here. Anyway, I broke it loose. It's pretty academic what to do from here. This lower shock bolt is a 21mm, and I've got my jack under it just in case. Bear with me here, you're attached to the jack. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that's the lower part. Now I'll just finish taking this nut out from up there and this shock will drop out of here. Okay, I've got that top nut off of there, so let me just wiggle this back out. This thing ought to pull right on out of there. No problem. Okay. And then I'm going to look at this and compare that with the new bushings. Alright, so these bushings are kind of weird because the originals are both the same diameter. And these new poly ones, there's one little small one for some reason and one big one. But I think what I'm going to go with is there's actually a little thing sticking out right here to kind of keep that centered in the body. There's also one on here. And then that and that look pretty similar, so I guess that's the way I'll do it, is have this one go like that, have this one go on the new one like that. So stick that in there, and then I'm going to just stick that, if I can. Oh, there it is. Okay. And the control arm. I'm just going to set that inside there and hold it in place while I tighten that nut on top. And the new nut. So let's just see how this works. I can't even get my hand back in there. Come on. Normally the camera's kind of a pain in the ass, but it's actually kind of helping me here because I can't see back there. Won't this work? This should work. I'll just hold the torque wrench here and keep tightening with the wrench, and when it gets tight enough it should click, right? There's probably some engineering reason why that didn't work, but I'm starting to not care. Ooh! Okay. Alrighty. Spring compressor. Now this is kind of not great because you can't really orient the spring on 180 degrees apart on either side of the spring, so you just kind of have to do it one here and then one, not 180 degrees apart. But since this thing bends out that direction anyway, maybe that's better. I don't know. It worked on the other side. I'm just going to do it here, just tough it out and being my paint. Height adjuster on top of spring. think all this shock setting is setting the maximum travel. Alright, I'm going to call it there, I guess. I'm going to put this bolt in here just to keep this thing from turning while I bust this collar loose. Alright, so I'll break the collar loose, I think. That's pretty good. Okay. I'm not going to fully tighten that bolt until the weight of the car is on it. I think that's good. That seems to be preloaded pretty well. Shock is adjusted, it's bolted at the top. I think that's all there is to do on the rear. Apart from adjusting height and all that, which I'll do later. What I did was I just stuck with the factory height setting, so we'll see what that actually turns out to be when I put this thing on the ground. So, alright.